Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jonna. This is Jonna OMG. Today I'll be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 16, Art Imitates Life. Y'all, the producers are really funny for the titles of some of these episodes, but this Art Imitates Life, quite spot on. So this is it, y'all. We made it to the season finale. We made it, thank goodness. I am looking forward to the reunion. I think the reunion is going to give me the things that I was lacking from the entire season. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get right on into this review. So there was a lot of like back and forth happening. Filming wrapped in January, but then they started filming again in like March because of the Drew and Ralph situation. So what they wanted to capture those moments. So the date pops up March 3rd, 2023. The producers asked Drew and Ralph if they were hiding something. Then they do this like little recap of their relationship. It looked all fake and phony to me, child, but hopefully they are more happy apart than they were together. So the timeline was really funky, but I think they go back to the original recording. So Sonia goes for another visit with Dr. Jackie, and Marlo joins her for the appointment. Ross isn't able to make it. I'm sure he's in Austin or something. They were doing an ultrasound, so glad Marlo was able to be there for her. So Dr. Jackie told her that she was 5 weeks and 5 days. And Dr. Jackie also told her that she kind of needs to stop involving her son this early in the pregnancy. She needs to wait till she at least hears a heartbeat before she tells her 4-year-old son about having a baby. So we move on to Drew and Ralph. So they're in the bedroom talking, and Ralph is saying like he's been grinding, he's been working hard. And Drew is just doing sex scenes, and I'm just like, I don't like how he brushes it off like Drew, what Drew does is not like hard work. Like, dude, you in tech. Like, you act like you in the construction yard or something. You ain't building nothing. Like, you ain't working with your hands. You like, I'm just working so hard, grinding. He just undermines that girl so much. It's just so ridiculous. So over them as a couple, honestly. So he said he moved out of the room because Drew gets in so late. She gets in from filming like 3 in the morning, so it messes up his sleep. So he moved out of the room, and then the producer showed a little clip like he's in the bunk beds with his sons or something. So I don't know. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, that's the reason you moved out. Whatever. So Drew plays him this video of Courtney, you know, the video of Courtney where they were in Portugal and Courtney was using the B word. Even though she was pointing at Sonia, I'm just not sure who she was actually talking about. If she was referring to Drew or Sonia or anybody else, right? I don't know yet, but I wouldn't put past her. I don't trust her. Y'all know how I feel. So anyway, so she asked Ralph, like, you know, like, how do you feel about it? And he was like, unbothered by it, of course, basically saying that, well, some of the other girls have called you a B word before, so like, no big deal. But I'm like, basically saying Drew needs to get over it. Like, other people have called her a B word before, so why should Courtney be any different? I'm like, okay. But I get what Drew was saying. Like, Courtney's supposed to be family, so I guess you would hold her at a little bit of a higher standard, even though I feel like y'all don't even know her. Like, I don't even know if y'all did the proper family tree history to determine if y'all really cousins or not. But I'm with her. Like, if your wife is having an issue with somebody, you too probably should have that same issue with that said person. Like, regardless if that's your family or not. And not saying that you got to be beefed out with Courtney, but like, at least acknowledge your wife's feelings about the situation. Like, come on. Like, y'all have to be a united front. Like, you ain't got to be yelling and screaming at Courtney, but you can at least say, yeah, Courtney, that wasn't right. Yeah, she shouldn't have called you that if she was referring to Drew. Like, that's it. That's it. Kind of way Drew went downstairs and her sister got involved because her sister did say that Courtney said that she never used the B word before. Like, she doesn't use, that's not in her vocabulary, but we have you on video actually saying it. So like, you're clearly lying. So what else could you be lying about, you know? And so Ralph gonna blurt out, well, the sister named Allison. He was like, well, Allison, you've called Drew a B word before. And it's just like, buddy, like, you're missing the point here, okay? Courtney the one who lied about saying she never used the word, so she could be lying about who it was actually in reference to. And it's just like, dude, like, you're missing the point. Like, Drew is just really asking you to be a supportive husband for her in this moment. She's not looking for you to bash Courtney. She's just looking for support on her side. Like, I'm not sure why it's so hard for him to comprehend it. It's ridiculous to me. And I'm with the sister. It doesn't matter. Forget the word. She could have said, the sister was like, well, she could have said banana. If Drew has a problem with it, then you should acknowledge that she has a problem with it instead of trying to tell her that she needs to get over it because of what other people have done to her. Like, that didn't make it right then. Like, you missing it. And I think he's purposely trying to miss the point. So Sheree and her daughter were talking, and they were talking about Bob's new daughter. Well, not new daughter, new to Sheree. Daughter that she had met yet. And the daughter was Sheree's daughter. Was talking about how she has met the girl before. And I just was like, but to me, did anybody else find that scene odd? I feel like Sheree's daughter was talking about Bob as if he wasn't her father. She was like, yeah, men so crazy these days. But it's just like, is Bob not your dad? I don't know. But she said she's met the girl before. I don't know how many times, but all the other kids knew about her. Just only person left in the dark was Sheree. So anyway, so Kenya's with her dad and little Brooklyn. And I still think it's very strange that Brooklyn is like 4 or going on 5 or something. And she's just now meeting her grandpa. So I thought Kenya's relationship with her dad was a little bit better. I mean, I understand he goes to Detroit, but Kenya could have brought Brooklyn to Detroit, but I don't know, honestly, with this whole Mark thing, who knows what Mark will allow her to do. He probably was like, you can't take my baby on an airplane. Something ridiculous like that. Anyway, so hopefully their, grandfather-daughter relationship gets a little better. So anyway, so Kenya tells her dad that she's thinking about having another baby with the embryos that she has with Mark. And he was like, oh, no, not a good idea. But he was basically saying, because of the risk factor, she almost lost her life, even with the first pregnancy with Brooklyn. Like, it's not smart to go through another pregnancy again. She told him about the surrogacy route. So he was like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. But he missed the whole part of what I was thinking. Hello, should she have another baby with Mark? Like, that gravestone by his head, I think. But Kenya said legally, like, Mark doesn't have any, like, rights to the embryos. Like, they signed some paperwork saying that she will own them. But I'm like, yeah, the embryos, but what happens when they become human beings? Like, they still have Mark's DNA. Like, I'm like, girl, do you want to be in another custody battle with this man? But, child, to each his own, Kenya. I don't think you should do it. And let me be clear. I'm not saying she shouldn't do it, have another baby. I'm saying maybe not with those embryos with Mark. That's what I'm saying. I mean, let's list the things that we know at this point. 1, Mark is a snake in the grass and should not be trusted. The end. So I'm breezing past this next part. So we were at the archive, Marlo's showroom shop. Scott Lee comes in, whoop-de-woo, come for a visit. And I'm just like, all I can think about when I see him is, where is the 1-year-old? Where is this baby? Anyway, she said they're in a good space, so we'll see, child. So Drew and Ralph, we're back to them. They're headed to a counseling session together. Woo, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe my eyes. Before they even really sat down good, it already started going left. Like, they they talk about how Ralph was sleeping in another room and how the kids have noticed it. And Ralph was like, that's a lie. That's a lie. They don't know. And Drew was like, yes, they do. Like, JoJo texts Drew saying, hey, I think Dad is sleeping in another room. And the other kids noticed, the smaller kids noticed too. And Drew was like, oh, it's okay. He's just doing that because I'm getting in so late, blah, blah, blah. And then Ralph was like, well, you should explain it to him in a different way, you know. But and I'm like, what did you want the girl to say? Like, she told the truth. Your truth, right? Your version of the truth. So what you want the girl to say? And I just, Ralph is really just trying to pick a fight with her. Because to me, she answered it in the way she should have, honestly. She was upfront and honest. You don't want to get started lying. You don't want to start lying to your kids, you know. So I just don't know what else this man wants from this girl at this point, you know. So basically, he said he feels liberated, sleeping in a different room. And he tries to make this point, like Drew has another friend who sleeps in a separate room from her husband. And they love it or whatever. And Drew was like, yeah, not to bust your bubble, but they filing for divorce. And he's like, well, who doesn't file for divorce? And I'm like, okay, are you just like, have they already filed at this point? Because this little counseling session seems ridiculous. Am I the only one? I was just like, this just feels fake and phony. It don't even feel like a last ditch effort. It feels like somebody has already filed for divorce at this point. It just feels fake. So the counselor asked him a good question, like, listen, y'all definitely need therapy. Y'all definitely need marriage counseling. But 2 questions. Is this someone that you want to be with? Is this someone that you want to reconnect with? And I would love to see those answers, child. But honestly, no, I wouldn't, because we see where they're headed. So leave it be. So Candy and Todd are throwing a party for their movie release. Tia and Tiny show up in sweats. Yikes. I just don't like, everybody is dressed up like a movie premiere night, and Tiny got on some sweats and a hoodie. And I'm like, girl, what? Maybe she didn't think she was going to be on camera, but I doubt it. Anyway, Mama Joyce arrives to the party. We hadn't seen her in a minute. Then we have Taeyong. You knew the cameras was going to catch that action, okay? The alleged mistress of Miss Drew Sidora, child. She in the building. All the ladies are there, looking cute, looking nice. So Courtney tries to like give Drew's sister a hug, and Drew's sister was not having it. So they move off to the side, have a little powwow, and Courtney finally came clean. She finally said that, yeah, she was calling Drew a B word. That B word reference was for Drew. And I'm just like, 2 seconds ago, before Drew walked up to the conversation, she was just lying and saying that it wasn't about Drew. So I don't know. That girl, not to be trusted. She just sneaky and fake and phony. I'm just like, why wouldn't you have owned up to it when Mayetta first brought it to the table? You could have owned up to it and apologized, and we didn't have to have it drag on for so long. Like, you knew you were talking about Drew. I don't know how you thought you was going to weasel your way out of it. She is a weasel, so anyway. And then in her confessional, she was trying to be all fake, telling me something, well, I just apologized so Drew can shut up. And I'm like, just like, girl, Courtney, y'all, I do not want Courtney back next season. I don't want her back. It's fake. It's phony. I don't believe anything that comes from her mouth. I don't believe her little relationship with the baby daddy. She's just not believable to me, and I don't like seeing her on the screen. I just don't. Sorry, don't want her back. I definitely don't want her to have a peach. I probably would start tuning this show out if Courtney get a peach. In other news, they played the movie trailer. Everybody was loving it. So the movie is on Peacock. I gotta tune into it. It looks like it was pretty juicy. So we'll see what it's about, honey. So Drew performs her song that Ralph produced, and I didn't love the outfit, but good look, Drew. I mean, I thought Drew had a stylist. They're not helping. So anyway, just good luck to the girl. Ralph finna be out your life. Ralph get on my nerves so bad, y'all, that sometimes I have to side with Drew, and I don't want to. Ugh. So they do the little like ending moments with the girls. So Candy and Todd are going to be producing The Wiz. Sheree healed her fibroids. Marlo is not dating Skylar anymore. And then Kenya opened up her Kenya Moore hair care salon. So then they go back to, like I said, y'all, this episode was a whole lot of back and forth. They go back to like the blog post where the blogs were announcing Drew and Ralph's divorce, and Marlo calls up Sheree. She tells her about the rumors that Drew had something going on with Ty Young. And you know, Ty is Mimi from Love and Hip Hop's ex-girlfriend. So Candy and Mayetta confirmed the rumor again that it could have been, that it was something going on with Drew and Ty. So y'all, then we segue into Sonya, and we learned that Sonya had a miscarriage. And what broke my heart even further is that she was alone, y'all, in New York, going through this by herself. I'm not sure where Ross was, but and then she had to tell her son about it as well, and he was so emotional. Whew, that was a little heavy, y'all. That was heavy. So later on, Sheree comes into Drew's dressing room and kind of, you know, asks her how she's doing. And then she mentions that her father had recently passed. And this is just really an emotional time for these ladies, for the whole cast in general, because I'm sure each one of the ladies have been where Drew, Sheree, and Sonya are at this moment. And we're really just seeing loss on all fronts, you know, loss of a father, loss of a baby, loss of a marriage, you know. It's really kind of emotional time for everyone. So it was heavy. So we move back to Drew and Ralph, and they're prepping for their interviews, well, their confessionals. And let me just say this divorce is finna be messy. It is not finna be a smooth ride for them. Like, it's finna be so many rumors circling around them, drama back and forth. It's finna be a mess. Like, the secrets in their life are gonna come to the forefront. Drew already got it. Ralph's secret's gonna come up too. I know he got some, because what you been doing in Tampa, okay? I didn't forget. I will never forget. They are not on one accord. I mean, each one of them are calling each other liars. Like, it's just not gonna be good. And then as they're taping the confessional, the blog post come out with Mimi posted something about that Drew and Ty did have a relationship. And I'm just like, oh goodness, was Ty with Mimi at the time? Like, how she know? Like, messy. And then so they go to Courtney, and Courtney say that she knew that Drew and Ty were together. She has pictures of their phone, and apparently Ralph knew too that Drew was like bisexual or something. I just really can't even keep up at this point. I can't keep up, y'all. It's just so much I can say about these confessional interviews, but I'm gonna have to save it at this point, because this video probably already like an hour long at this point. But y'all, that was pretty much the end of it, or rather where I'm gonna stop. I would say this whole season, I mean, the beginning, the middle, and these last couple of episodes have not been great. I'm hoping the reunion is going to give us all the theatrics we were looking for. I can't remember. Did they say that this reunion was going to be 3 parts? I'm sure it will be, because it's probably a lot to discuss. But anyway, please tell me what y'all think about Drew and Ralph's divorce. Y'all think it's going to be as messy as I'm thinking it's gonna be? Raise your hand in the comments, okay? But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.